Have you cried when drunk?
Oh, yeah.
Have you?
Oh, my God,
When?
yes.
When was the last time it happened?
I was invited to a party. It was
Okay.
actually when I met Gemma Chan. So
Oh, that party.
that party. So I was invited to a party by a guy who knew Jack Whitehall. And
Name drop.
Yeah,
Name
yeah,
drop.
yeah. But he constantly name dropped about that. It was in this house in St. John's Wood, and it was huge. And I got so drunk. And because this guy, he had pursued me. And then one night he came over to me. He was drunk. He was on his way home from Paris. He called me from like the train. And he was like, I'm coming over. And then he comes over. He makes me make him a sandwich. And then he tries to kiss me over the sink. And then I'm like, I don't want to. So we're like, okay, let's just go to sleep. So we're in my bed. And then he tries again. And I'm like, nah. And so we just go to sleep. And then later he kicks me awake because I was snoring.
Okay.
And that should have been it. That should have been it.
Yeah.
But no. Later, he invites me to a party with Jack Whitehall.
On the same day. So you just hung around all day.
But he kind of hung around all day because
Ew.
he was like, in the morning, he wakes up and he just like, all of a sudden, I just see him out in the hallway just talking to my flatmates, like just with like a towel around his waist. But it was just like incredible to me, the level of like comfortableness and the level of space he was comfortable with taking up in my house after he kicked me awake. And my roommates, they were like, who is that guy? I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But then, and then he took me to brunch. But then he invited me to a party later. And then at that party, it was like, people were like, oh, are you guys like, what is it between you guys? And I was like, I don't know. And then I got really, really drunk. And then I was so drunk. He was like, yeah, just spend the night here. Like, you can't go home in this state. I was like, I don't want to spend it here. And so he was like, yeah, just take one of the bedrooms because that's what rich people do. They have so many bedrooms. They just put you in one. He was like, just sleep here and then tomorrow you can go home. And I was like, okay. And then I sat in that room and I was like, he's trying to trap me. Because I was so drunk. And I was like, he's trying to trap me. I'm going home. I'm going to sneak out.
Okay.
And so to me, I was sneaking out. But I think everybody saw me leave the party.
You were like, as everybody just looked.
Yeah, everyone was like, what's she doing? Why is she walking
Just
weird?
walk normal. Why is she stealing all the alcohol? Why is she putting stuff in a backpack?
Shh. Gemma Chan, shh. I was so drunk. And so I get to the garden. I run out of the house and then I twist my ankle as I'm running out of the house. And then I'm on the ground and I'm like, I just start crying. Because it was such a miserable. I was like, this is so bad. And so I'm there with a twisted ankle. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to give up. This is not going to stop me. And so I get up and then I just like limp out of the house. And then I get on the bus, the night bus, by the way, from St. John's Wood all the way to Streatham. And it's like, I don't know, 2 hours or something. And I'm just crying on the bus, just like constant crying, like just drunk girl crying. And also being like, just thinking about the guy that I actually liked, which was somebody who broke my heart. And so I was just like, oh, he would never do this to me. But of course he would. So yeah, that was me crying when I'm drunk.
If someone comes over, they're drunk and they cry, it's like, okay, I get it. If they come over and they're sober and they start crying like she's a fucking psycho. You know? I'm like, you're sober, why are you crying?
Why would they cry when they're sober?
I don't know, that means they're crazy.
What do you mean they're maybe they shared something emotional with you.
Yeah, stop, don't do that. Don't do that.
my
The only time I
God.
want to see you cry is you're drunk crying. People who've never drunk cried before, they're missing out. They don't know this whole life experience.
Tell me when you drunk cried. Have you had a time when?
Yeah,
it's
during the
been funny?
divorce. Not divorce, but the separation.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's too real. That's like, oh okay, I don't want to know about that because
Well,
that's
when I'm
like
drunk, I always
actually
have a lot of
emotional.
fun, you know?
Yes, you have fun, but then also it gets to a point where it just tips over, and you're crying on a bus. You're crying on a bus as you're like.
Well,
just
that's your
feeling
own
sorry
fault.
for
That's your own fault for taking a night bus when you're drunk. Of course you cried.
I mean, I was
Have
so
you seen
poor
the
back-
night bus?
I was so skint back then that I wouldn't be able to have afforded like an Uber or a taxi.
You should have just stayed at the place.
I know I should have just stayed in this incredible mansion in St. John's Wood. Yeah. But I was so drunk and I was like, he's trying to trap me here. had to leave.
When I tell people I don't want to go out with people who don't drink, and they're like, oh well, what if they used to be an alcoholic?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, well, I don't want to date someone who used to be an alcoholic. So.
And honestly, so many people in the UK
Yeah.
are.
It's like, ew, I don't want that.
When I first moved
You have
here,
terrible self-control. I don't want that at all.
it's so funny because
Yeah.
when I first moved here, I met people like who were 23 or something. They're like, yeah, I'm teetotal now. I used to like have a problem with alcohol and drugs. I'm like, who are you? Like, what is this country?